All
Can't see shit.
So Jacob, you got an ad read for the beginning?
Yeah, just the one from BJ.
Okay. What's up, Thomas? How are you doing?
What's up, man? Oh, I thought we were doing the ad read right now.
Oh, not yet.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to do the ad read. We're going to play our theme song, and then we will introduce you and bullshit.
Sweet.
All right.
Drop pens.
Are you ready, Jacob?
I'm ready, yeah.
All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
This episode of the Open Micers Podcast is brought to you by that dirty motherfucker BJ DeBlow. He knows what he did. He would have started his own podcast, but he's too chicken shit. So let's start the episode.
Ooh, it's Wednesday night. It's time for the Open Micers Podcast. My name is Jason Robbins.
I'm known in the streets as Soup Dog, Jacob Craig. And our guest tonight is the co-host of Rushmore Podcast, the co-host of ROUGHHOUSE Friday with Bryan Callen. Please welcome the incomparable professional handicapper, Thomas McCormack, dude. How are you doing, bro?
I've been waiting so long for somebody to call me that. I call myself that all the time, but nobody fucking does it.
I mean, you've been called a professional handicap for a long time, but now you're just a professional handicapper.
Right. Yeah, and that's an upgrade.
Yeah, it's something to be a lot more proud about.
Yeah, I wanted to add the to it before I got out of my 20s.
Yeah, it would be better if you called yourself a handicapper, but whatever you want to do, dude. Hanging out with Pepper too much.
Yeah, he does rub off. I think that's a little enabling, though. I'd like to just steer into it.
So you are one half of the Rushmore Podcast. You haven't been on this episode.
I would say 3/4, but
yeah, 3/4 of the Rushmore Podcast. So the only thing I ask of you for being on our show, don't ruin it.
Hey man, look, I don't even blame Pepper. So we recorded an episode a couple episodes ago.
Don't
I'm
say
not saying
anything that's
all
gonna
I'm gonna say is we had to take it down, and I don't blame Pepper. So
oh wait, did you ever put it up?
We did put it up.
It was up for about 8 hours, and for you listeners who actually got to listen to it, congratulations! You now have heard the lost episode, which all evidence of has been deleted from my hard drives and from the internet. So,
hold on. Hold on. Let me get to the bottom of this a little. I'm subscribed to you guys. I somehow missed this. Did y'all uploaded like late at night or some shit?
Yeah, I uploaded it probably about 10:30, 11 o'clock last Wednesday night, and it was
the next morning.
Yeah, it was gone the next morning.
Oh my god, what was it called?
It was called episode 70, Utter Chaos.
Can I get it? Can you send it to me?
I don't even think I have it anymore.
It doesn't exist anywhere on the internet anymore.
I will say this: we just came out with episode 200 of Rushmore last Friday, and there's probably been about 160 of those that should have been pulled down. We just don't do it.
Yeah, I saw you guys did a huge blowout for your episode 200.
Yeah, man, it was fun. We worked under the impression, which was I say the impression, it was fucking true, that for the first 120 something, nobody was listening at all. So we just said whatever we wanted. It didn't matter because nobody ever said anything about it. And then when people started listening, you think we would have felt like more of a sense of responsibility for that, but I think we just made it worse.
Yeah, man. When did you guys start Rushmore Podcast?
November 2000. Well, we recorded like 4 in April of 2017, and we didn't put it out like publicly until November of 2017.
Okay. And when did you guys hit like national status where you could kind of pull in some of these guys like Ari Shaffir and whatnot?
Probably March of last year, 2020.
Hell yeah, man. I know I've been like super jealous, especially because like neither of you are comics and you're somehow so funny.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't even like. My 12-year-old daughter tonight. She was like, "Whose podcast are you doing?" I said, "He's a comedian, and you do comedy too, right, Jason?"
Yeah.
I'm gonna get to you in a little bit because I have things to tell you.
Okay.
But I was like, "It's a comedian's podcast," and she was like, "Oh, like you?" I was like, "I'm not a comedian." To my own daughter, I'm like, "Don't call me that. That's not what I am. I'm comedic.
Yeah.
I'm not a comedian."
That's very disrespectful to a lot of people.
Yeah, I'm like, no, that is not me. That is not me. They're like, you do comedy, right? And I'm like, no, not like that.
You did do comedy once in Austin, where we're at now, though, at Creek in the Cave, didn't you?
I did.
I know you sent me the did you publish that audio file on y'all's Patreon or something like that?
Yeah, I think so. I think we just put it up on YouTube. I think we just put it up on the YouTube.
Okay. Yeah, I know that you sent it to me, and it was weird to hear like an open mic in a big scene like that where absolutely no one cares about what you're saying.
Oh, like, dude. There was no one. So there was probably 20 people in the building. And I mean, that's the main club here in Austin now. But there was probably 20 people there. All 20 of them were just comics waiting to go up. There was no exaggeration, 0 people there to see comedy. 0. There was not one person that came there to watch the show. Everyone was just standing around with their notebooks or talking to each other on their phones, waiting on their time to go up. And more importantly, what I observed is like the people that laughed at someone's jokes were the only people that laughed whenever that other person went up. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, no one wanted you to look better than them. They would only laugh if you laughed at them first.
Huh. Yeah, and chances are you met everyone that's not getting booked in Austin, Texas.
Yeah, pretty much. And everyone there was just like, maybe somebody will see me. Maybe I'll get on a show with, Legion of Skanks or somebody like that.
Yeah.
At the Creek. Everybody's just there hoping someone notices them. And they probably didn't like me because I don't give a shit about any of that. And I'm not a comic. I'm like, not only did I not write material for this, but I have no interest in everything that you guys are doing. And I actually sat there to watch the comedy. So some of them were funny, and I was probably the only person sitting there. And I don't think they liked that I was laughing at everybody. I don't think they laughed that I enjoyed myself. They're like, who's this fucking guy think he is? Trying to make them look good. It was very toxic in there.
Yeah. Welcome to comedy. That's about half of it.
Yeah. Probably 65%, probably.
Yeah.
3/4 of it.
I'm friends with some comics in Houston, and apparently the scene there is wildly better than it is here.
Yeah. I know a guy who owns a club in Houston, and they put on a lot of like, it's one of those things where like you pay money to see the open mic.
Right. It's an actual show. And from what I hear, people are actually going to it. Here it's LA light. Everybody's just going into the room hoping somebody sees them because everybody moved here.
Yeah. And it tastes like piss.
Yeah. It's a cool place though. I'm glad I moved here.
I wouldn't mind doing a road trip to Houston, Jacob. I actually like Houston. Sucks to drive in, but it's a cool city.
I'll say that I said I have a friend in Houston. We're not that tight. Like, I can't just roll up to his club and be like, hey, remember when we were on that show together and you said I could like come by? Like, I don't think you would remember.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know.
Why is it every week? I think my cat's trying to tell me that the show is shit. Because every week he wants to wait till I'm recording and then come just drop a big bomb like 5 feet from me. And I'm like sitting here and my cats stink in the corner. I'm like, great. Thanks, buddy. Thanks.
To be fair, Jason, most of our listener base has been trying to tell us that this show is shit.
Yeah, well.
So don't start paying attention now.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Rushmore Podcast just a little bit more. I'm curious to know when and where you met Pepper and what on earth he actually brings to the table for you.
Okay. Well, all right. Those are loaded questions. The first one I don't remember. I don't know where we met because we just knew each other somehow. I would assume playing music somewhere. It's the only thing I can imagine. Like Squeaky Lizard or somewhere like that in Ocean Springs. But I know that we thought we met in 2017-ish when we started doing the podcast, and we had a lot of mutual friends. But I was watching a video of some used to be local band playing at like Graffitis or some shit. and you can clearly hear me and Pepper yelling in the crowd, and it was from like 2012. So apparently we've known each other for like 10 years longer than we think we did.
Wow.
But I have no fucking clue. And he doesn't bring much to the table, but I will say this. While I do all the work, I am most of the time funnier. I wouldn't say I'm funnier. That's not fair because that is subjective. I'm definitely smarter. I look, but I don't see, he's funny. Pepper is funny. It depends on and he also brings this like, is he racist? Does he really love 1930s Germany? We don't really know, but he's lovable enough to where you're like, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, let him toe that line a little bit. And I think people enjoy listening to that. Also, he had his battles with crack. And we got it. The show pulled him out of that. So people want him to stick around. Literally got him out of a ditch in Columbus, Georgia. That is not a joke. This is not a bit. And look at him now. Living in fucking Helena, Mississippi or whatever, mowing grass every day. And he just gets to fart into microphones and a few people listen to it and they reach out to him on Twitter and he gets noticed at the juke joint because he has a podcast. So he's fucking making it.
Well, I will say he does get noticed at the juke joint since I've started hosting at the juke joint, hasn't come back. What the fuck, Pepper?
Well, I will say
Come on, man.
This applies to me and him. Neither of us, 1% are aspiring comedians.
Yeah.
Well, at least you don't come on this show while I'm streaming to Twitch, pulling out firearms.
Pepper did do
You want me
that.
to go grab one?
No.
All right. Rushmore,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna shout out promo codes on y'all's show, but we are sponsored by Beretta. So.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why he pulled out a Beretta.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, thanks, Pepper.
Yeah.
Yeah, but nobody heard
actually...
it or saw it.
Yeah, but I mean, you can use code Rushmore for 10% off on Beretta's website for clothing, hats, shirts, that sort of thing. Not applied on guns, but
it is applied on guns.
Oh, Pepper said it wasn't. See, you are better than Pepper.
Yeah, I'm the sponsor guy. Pepper's never talked to another human about our show. So when it comes to the guests, the sponsors, any kind of correspondence, that's all me.
Oh, I would like to point out, shout out to Mrs. Craig for the soup drop.
Yeah, what you got tonight? What kind of soup you got there?
Guess. Give me a guess, Jason. What kind of soup you think I got?
Split pea.
Do I look like a motherfucker that eats split pea soup?
No.
100%. No, he does. Yeah, 100%.
No, it's tomato, dude. It's well established that tomato is my favorite soup.
I realize you have to try other soups occasionally.
No, I fucking don't, dude. I'm on this planet for a set amount of time.
Thomas, what's your favorite soup?
What is your favorite soup, Thomas?
I mean, chicken and noodles hard to fucking beat. I like a chicken and gnocchi. Let's go Olive Garden with it. The cheap, not a real one either. I need like fake Italian Olive Garden chicken and gnocchi.
What are you, fucking better than me? You think you're all that?
Where's your grilled cheese with that fucking soup?
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, right here in the corner, baby.
See, that's what happens when you still live with your mother. That's what happens. You get to have soup and sandwiches.
Oh, you mean your whole life is better? Yeah, I guess so, Jason.
I didn't realize that. I mean, I guess I should have because it was self-explanatory that we were streaming this live. Because Pepper just texted me and said, "I forgot about the gun."
Pepper's probably in the chat room. Pepper.
Yeah, so shout out Pepper. Sorry about that crack stuff I said.
Yeah, Pepper, you can text in the chat if you want.
I don't see it.
Does he know how to write?
I mean,
I don't know. The chat is on Jason's twitch.tv/jfunktastic.
Word.
Anyways,
shout out to Pepper though. I love Pepper.
I do really like Pepper. We should.
I will say his other show, History Buffs, that he started with Phil Cron. They've only had like 5 episodes, but other than episode 200, because me and Pepper, we fucking suck sometimes. Rushmore's awful a lot of the times, and it's our fault 100%. It's just no preparation. But I will say that 5 episode span of History Buffs, if you take away episode 200 of Rushmore, it's the better show over the last month and a half. That's a good fucking show. I don't know if y'all have listened to History Buffs. It is a good show.
I haven't even heard of it. He didn't even say anything about it last time we talked to him.
He's not good at that stuff.
He didn't have time. He didn't have the chance.
Yeah, well, that's true.
To say anything. We should get you back on the show, Pepper. But enough about him, because we don't give a fuck. But yeah, you host another podcast called ROUGHHOUSE Friday with Bryan the Man Dragon Callen, of all people.
The Man Dragon.
That's what he's calling himself these days. He's
that's
graduating
what
from the kid.
No, people call him the Man Dragon, dude. It's other people that say that to him. How did that happen? I know you've explained the short version. Basically, you two, he's done Rushmore, you guys hit it off, and then you did a podcast together. It can't be that simple.
It's 100% that simple. Everything we've done is that simple, because we don't we probably should, I would say, to spite ourselves, we don't work for any of it. So like sponsors, guests, every bit of that, we just ask. And not only do a lot of them say no, but a lot of them say yes. But not only if they don't say no, if they add an extra step, it's like a rule we have, is if they add an extra step to make it happen, we're out. We have no interest. If they're like, talk to this manager, talk to this agent, or can we do it on this day instead, or like day of, can we reschedule today? It's like, I guess we can, but we're probably not going to follow up on this. And that's not like we're too good for you. It's like we're not prepared enough or dedicated enough to go out of our way to make sure we stay on top of that. It is the opposite of us being too good for them. It is like, hey, we're not good enough. We're not going to fucking work for this. But Bryan literally went that way. He came on our show. He called me after we recorded the Rushmore episode and was like, I really like you guys. More young people need to be doing this, because everybody that has a podcast is some old fucking comic trying to sell tickets on the road. And it's so saturated. We need people to take over when we all stop doing fucking podcasts. I like what you guys do. And then he started calling me like weekly, asking how our downloads were going. Is there anything I can do to help? Just for no reason. Just calling me to check in with us. And then I got real drunk one night, and I was like, I heard him say the idea of ROUGHHOUSE Friday, which is just breaking down bets for fights. And he had mentioned that on another podcast he was on, probably Fighter and the Kid, because he's an alleged sexual assaulter, so they don't really have him on other shows. But he was on Fighter and the Kid, and he was talking about betting podcasts or whatever. And I just texted him. I was like, hey, I'd do that podcast with you. And then he didn't respond for like 3 days. And then he just called me. He's like, yeah, I think you'd be great for it. Let's set it up. I was like, all right. That was it. It was just asking him drunk, just sending him a text message. And then 3 days later, he called me. He's like, yeah, you'd be great. Let's do it. That was the end of it.
Man, I need to call Bryan Callen drunk.
Yeah, do it. But I mean, it was literally that easy. And it wasn't like he could have easily just been like, hey, why don't you just produce it? And I'll get somebody that's fucking, people give a shit about to host with me. And then I would have said, absolutely not. I have no interest anymore. Even though it'd be cool to work with you, I'm not going to do all that work I'm not going to commit to that. So even with ROUGHHOUSE, I mean, I do all that stuff. I still publish it. I still do all the editing and the producing and all that shit for it too. Run all the social media for it. And he just shows up to be funny. He's the pepper of that show. He just shows up to be funny.
Yeah, but I mean, he can get away with it though, because when you have like 4 hour specials, 5, you can just do that. You can do that. That's fine.
Also, some great fucking movies. People forget how good of an actor Bryan Callen is.
Oh yeah, dude. How I Met Your Mother. Fucking
Ride Along. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, dude. What else? Mad TV, bro. The
Hangover.
Oh yeah, The Hangover.
1 and 2. What else is he fucking in? Veronica's Closet or some shit like that. I have no idea. Seventh Heaven with the child molester that wasn't him. That dude went to fucking prison.
Indian in the Cupboard. He played the cupboard.
That's pretty good.
That's why you gotta have comics on your show, Thomas.
We have comics all the time.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, you got Pepper. He's the biggest comic I know.
Like physically, I mean, he has let himself go.
I will say he's been losing weight recently, but dude, like 3 weeks ago, he was so fucking fat. I couldn't stop talking to him about it.
Yeah, he needs to keep going in that direction, so that way we can be the same weight where we can box for charity.
What do you think it is? Do you think it was just pandemic weight? Not like maybe he hit an age where his metabolism.
It couldn't be pandemic weight, just because he never stopped working. Being in South Mississippi, nothing really fucking shut down for him, so his life stayed the same.
Yeah,
I would say it was just he eats fucking whole. Yeah, he eats whole Little Caesars pizza for lunch. What he used to do was he went to LY buffet every day for lunch, every single day.
Ew,
and I think
good buffet.
Oh, dude, it's the worst. He fucking loves it. And so he would go there. The one time I ate lunch with him there, I threw up on the table. But dude, it was so bad. Anyways, I think he would get less calories doing that than eating because they closed down. So now it's like whole Little Caesars in one sitting on lunch every fucking day, and that'll catch up with you,
dude.
Also, there's no telling what kind of drugs Phil Cron's putting in his leg. You know, he might be fucking putting some steroids on him, slowing his metabolism down.
100% those guys have exposed their asses to each other.
No question.
Not a single doubt. In some fashion. Maybe not with just steroids, but they've definitely seen each other's butts.
100%. There's been a lot of late nights there that are unaccounted for.
Yeah. I mean, I've done Phil's other podcast, Chromecast.
Yeah.
First thing they ask is to see my butt, dude. Like, that's just what they do at that show.
They weren't even recording. Yeah. Yeah.
That sounds fun. Wow.
All right. Well, welcome back to the Pepper Show. I'm here with Jacob and Jason.
So did you gain any weight over the last year or so? Like, 'cause when the pandemic happened and the gym shut down, I just stopped working out, dude. I gained 50 pounds in the last year and a half.
Yeah. Well, I had like some traumatizing fucking out of high school, probably my senior year of high school, and like the next 6 years, to where all I did was work out all the time and eat super healthy and be real fucking stupid and like freaky about it. So my obsession was insane, and it's the only thing I gave a shit about. So then whenever it like clicked that I was so burned down on that, I went the opposite way so fucking hard that I probably gained, I would say, like 80 pounds in a year and a half, 2 years. And then through the pandemic, I probably gained some weight, but since I moved here, I've lost a shit ton just because I'm not at the Celtic every fucking day drinking.
Oh, no kidding.
So, I mean, I've probably lost 25, 30 pounds in the last like 3 months I've been here just because I'm not drinking at all here, and only because I don't have somewhere to go to drink.
You haven't found a good like hole in the wall bar in Austin yet?
I haven't looked, and I probably wouldn't have looked around Pascagoula, but I worked at the Celtics, so I was in there every day regardless. Okay. So it was that's just kind of how it worked out. I think if I didn't have a relationship with the Celtic, I wouldn't have been driving to Ocean Springs to fucking drink every day. And I don't really drink at home, so that's helped here.
Yeah. How many fights did you see at that place?
Not many. Thunder's was the fight bar. Thunder's and Jazz Club is where everybody fought. Because Jazz Club is where all the rich white kids fight, where their dad's the lawyer, and they can just fucking get away with it. And then Thunder's is where you went to get fight and knew you can get away with it. Celtic wasn't a lot of fights.
Thunder's is the kind of place that like you could kill somebody and just like go shove them in a wall somewhere, and they'd never be found.
100%. You could put them in the bathroom and nobody would go in there and find them.
I wonder if they found any bodies in there when they tore it down a couple months ago.
They had to, and there was like 11 dogs living in there for years.
Dude, that place was so gross. Dude, I hated playing there. And we used to have to play there a lot. And that place,
I used to host a weekly open mic in there, and I stepped in dog shit damn near every time I went in.
Dude, there were roaches on the counters. Like, you'd just be up at the bar ordering a beer, and like a big, like, friggin' 3-inch roach would just walk in front of you. Like, dude, it stunk in there because during Katrina, that place flooded. It had like 11 feet of water and Thunders. And they got the money from FEMA and like insurance money, and then just kept the money and didn't clean anything.
Yeah, bought a Jaeger machine.
Oh, place disgusting. I don't want to say. I don't know if I should say anything bad about Thunder.
Yeah, fuck you, Thunder. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Because when he passed away, everybody's like on Facebook going, "Oh man," like sharing all these great memories about Thunders, and I'm like, that bastard I had to chase every freaking night to get paid.
Oh, dude, I'm pretty sure I posted about that. I'm like, I've been in there when the sun came up so many mornings waiting to get paid for the night before.
Yeah.
And also stepped in dog shit so many times on stage.
And how many times did you play there and you get done playing and you go to get paid and they're like, "Oh, Thunder went home."
Or he's asleep.
Yeah, or he's asleep.
Yeah, for the last like 10 years, he lived at Thunder's. He lived in the back in the room. So it would be Thunder went to bed.
Yeah,
so we can't
go
get
wake his ass up so he can pay me. No, well, he'll just pay you tomorrow. Like, I'm not driving all the way back over here to get paid. Are you crazy?
Yeah, that shit was fucking awful. You were in fall as well, right?
Yeah.
Jacob, sit this one out. So the first concert I ever went to in my life, by the way, I don't know, how long were you in the band, or were you always in the band?
I was always in it.
Okay.
Actually, they were dropping trowel before we had to change it to fall as well. And they had a couple of drummers before me when they were in dropping trowel, but I was like the longest drummer in the band.
Okay, well, the first concert I ever went to, it would have been probably October, either 2004. It would have been 2004. Could have been 5 because that would have been post Katrina. October 2004, I believe, at the Grand Casino, and it was Illbreak, Fall as Well, Adam Ship, 12 Stones.
Oh yeah, it was the Grand. They had that. Yeah, they had that big that theater or that.
Yeah.
What was it? It wasn't a theater. It was like a just like a concert venue that they had outside. And yeah, we actually played there twice, I think.
That's the first one. That's the first concert I ever went to in my life.
That's
I was
awesome.
supposed to go to Midnight Madness at the Pascagoula Fair, and my friend that I was going with got grounded. It was 2004, so I was 11, and my friend got grounded and couldn't go. And my mom made my brother, he's 8 years older than me, made him and his friends take me to the fucking concert because I was like crying and kicking and shit.
How old were you?
I was 11.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's all. I was your first concert. That's awesome.
First concert ever in my
Did you
entire life.
Did you get in the pit?
Of course I did. No,
Yeah.
No, I did not. I mean,
Why not?
I don't think I had much of a choice. I was with a bunch of 18-year-olds that were not paying attention to me.
Yeah.
So I probably got kicked around a shit ton. But I mean, I remember my sister loved fucking Lazy Eye. That shit used to be on a loop in my house.
Oh yeah.
Dude. My sister, she actually told me, Bethany, she told me to let you know that she loved that fucking song.
Oh, awesome.
I told her yesterday, I was like, do y'all remember Fall as Well? And I sent him a link to the song. She's like, I've been looking for that for so long.
Well, tell her it's all. We just released all that stuff on Spotify, Spotify, iTunes. You can pretty much pick it up everywhere. Both versions of that song, the album version and the Universal Records version, I put on Spotify.
Which one's better?
Well, they're both kind of different, but probably the one she knows the most is the Universal version.
Okay. Yeah, it would have been around the time of that concert that she was listening to it all the time. So yeah, that's 2004.
That's when that shit was spinning hard. We were on the road hardcore around then.
Yeah, I don't know whatever happened to Illbreak either. That was a good fucking CD. They opened that show.
Yeah, well, there's kind of a story behind that. Like, they won the because we were signed to Universal, and then when we got dropped from Universal, we got picked up by Imprint Records, which was run by Todd Harrell of Three Doors Down.
Right.
And so they were the ones who released our album, Imprint Records. And then they did you remember the Search for the Next Rock Star that they did? They did this big contest here on the coast. Like MTV was involved and everything. It was Search for the Next Rock Star. And they had like all these like big producers and stuff come down. And they did it at that same place that they did the concert you saw us at.
Right.
And basically it was like this big contest. Illbreak won, and they won a record contract with Imprint Records. So both of us were on that label at the same time. We were touring pretty hard, and we were basically keeping that label afloat. And then for some reason things started to go south, and they dropped us from the label, and then Illbreak couldn't keep everything above water, so they just kind of fizzled out and went bankrupt.
Okay. Well, yeah, they had that album as like The Wave or some shit like that. It was really good.
Yeah.
And then y'all's it was around the same time. And then I ended up becoming friends with those fucking Adam Ship guys for years. But it was just weird. Like every time I'd play a show with Joey, I'm like, dude, you were my first concert. Told that story 50 trillion times. But Jacob, you want to join the conversation? You want to come back?
I mean, I'm done with my grilled cheese now. So, I mean.
Oh, you had a grilled cheese?
Oh, I had 2 grilled cheeses as you guys were talking. I don't know.
What kind of cheese?
American. Is there any other way to do it?
Dude.
Yeah. Well, all right.
Whatever you want. It's
what,
fine.
bro?
Yeah. It's
what?
fine. It's fine.
What?
It's fine.
It's okay.
It's fine.
It's okay.
America first, Jason.
Make America great again.
Don't want any of that fucking pussy cheese, dude.
Pussy cheese. That's what you name the episode. Pussy cheese.
Yeah, pussy cheese with Thomas McCormack. That was my nickname in high school, was pussy
cheese.
Oh man.
See,
yeah, my first what?
I was gonna say Jacob would have no knowledge of ever seeing me play and Fall as Well, because he was like 3 months old when
How old are you,
was
Jacob?
going down.
21.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
God, dude, you're almost illegal.
Yeah, dude. If I was Benjamin Buttons, yeah, bro. I'd be almost there. I'm 21 and a half, actually. But
okay, well, that's how you can tell you're 21. You're measuring fucking months.
Yeah, right.
You one point you just stop saying a half.
Yeah, dude.
Like,
at one point you forget how old you are.
It would
I'm
sound-
always
yeah.
like, am I 27 or 28? I don't fucking know.
it'd be fucking dumb if people asked me how old I was. I'm like, I'm 44 and a half.
Yeah, I just
You
let
don't
me
say
tell them
that
what year
shit.
I was. Let me tell them what year I was born, and they can do the fucking math.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Luckily, being born in 2000, I have the easiest life ahead of me.
That's so wild. 2000. I'm sure you get it all the time as the fucking young guy in every group.
Oh yeah, dude. Being a 17-year-old hanging around 40-year-olds all the time.
Yeah. That's the same shit I had. I was playing music around here when I was like 15, so I was always the youngest fucking person everywhere I went.
Yeah. What's a trip now is I'm not even the youngest person on our comedy scene anymore.
Oh, really? Who is?
Yeah. Duncan Stone Street is also 21, but he was born in April and I was born in February.
All right. What's his birthday? April what?
Not sure. Yeah,
All right.
no idea. I know we celebrated it.
Did you?
Yeah. I actually did.
Stone Street's his last name?
Yeah.
That's a good comedy
That's a
name.
great last name for a comic.
Yeah.
He's funny too, dude. The last time I went on the road, I took him with me to open, and we were in some rough rooms, and he actually pulled it out.
You know,
But
Thomas, you were talking about being the youngest musician and stuff like that. I was the same way when I was a teenager. Like I was playing clubs around here when I was like 15, 16 years old.
Yeah, me too.
And dude, I'm like thinking about like, God, that was like 30 freaking years ago.
Yeah,
Oh my
a lot of those.
God.
I'm 28 now, but a lot of those like Thunder's memories and shit about stepping in the dog shit and all that and working there. I was like 16 around
Yeah.
then. And then my brother was in a band around here or around there. I guess I'm not there anymore. That's fucking weird. But my brother was in a band around 2007, 2008 that played like everywhere. And I would get into all those shows at like 14 years old. So I was all over the place in all those fucking bars and clubs. So, hey, FBI, if you're listening, South Mississippi, they're not fucking carding anybody.
Yeah, ever.
not a damn one, dude.
No
I've
way.
been hanging out at comedy venues since I was 17 years old.
Yeah.
And what's funny is I started getting ID'd after I turned 21.
Yeah.
Everyone
that'll
just
happen.
decided to start carding me, and I
But
was like, really?
you reach a weird like age where you're like, I think he's old enough, and I'm not sure. But if you like don't look old enough for sure, they're like, oh, he's not going to be brave enough to come in here. And if
Yeah,
you
right.
do look old enough for sure, they're not going to card you. But right when you're in that middle ground, they're like, I should probably
Dude,
check.
the guy at the juke joint, the door guy at the juke joint, he carded me and Angelina a couple weeks ago. I'm like, dude, I'm probably old enough to be your dad. Like, get out of my face with that shit.
I haven't
Yeah,
been
that
there in a
guy's
long time
ridiculous.
either.
Yeah, good spot still. That guy's on the spectrum, but
Oh fuck
Uh,
yeah,
yeah, that's probably why he does that.
I like that a lot.
I still say that I haven't been to a concert because my first concert when I was like 5 years old, because my brother was always in bands growing up.
Yeah.
So I just always say like, oh, I've never been to a concert because I've only ever been to local music, like local concerts, local musicians.
Where are you from? Are you from Mississippi?
Yeah, from Van Cleve.
Oh Jesus. All right. That was there. Where did you go to comedy clubs all the time when you were so young?
Juke Joint, Zeppelin's when it was still open.
Kraken.
Yeah, Wayward Kraken, which I was already 18 by the time I was going to the Kraken, but they weren't.
In my
21
head, I'm
plus.
like, where were you going way back then in Van Cleve? And then I'm remembering how old you just told me that you're only 21. So I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's like 3
I'm
years
like, all
ago.
these places were like just open.
Yeah, it's like 4 years ago. The only
Yeah.
one of those places that shut down is Zeppelin's.
Right.
Rest in peace, Zeps. That's where we made our comedy debut. Mermaids shut down too now.
Did it?
I've never been in there. That's the same building as Zeppelin's, right?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
dog shit. I'm so glad they're gone.
Yeah, I've been in Zeppelin's a bunch. I've never been to the Mermaid place.
Yeah,
Did I miss Zeppelin's? They had great pizza.
It was really good pizza.
Yeah, it was. That place was great. What's wrong, Jacob? Did you lose us?
Jacob, you don't like pizza? You don't miss Zeppelin's, dude? That's where you got your fucking start.
That's
yeah, I do miss Zeppelin's pizza. My microphone did that fucking thing again.
Shit. Came
God.
back in hot. It's like, how fucking
Hey,
dare
this is
you
this
guys?
is Jacob.
Hey,
Jesus.
sorry, dude.
Fucking
I told you
Buffalo
I've been
Bill.
having mic problems because I'm fucking poor and all my shit has to break.
Monetize this show, bro. Let it pay for itself.
We try to, but nobody gives us money ever. That's why I want to talk to you about that, because you have your McCormack Media Management. I need to ask you some questions on how to get more listeners that'll monetize this podcast.
I can send you some fucking packages, bro.
Please.
It helps.
Because it's easy with my other show, Nerd Cave Retro. It's a built-in audience. Like, you do anything retro gaming, it's a built-in audience. Like, when we first started that show, it was instantly like hundreds of downloads. Right. And I didn't have to do any advertisement for it. This show, like, dude, I could advertise my ass off, and we get like 2 people.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it took us like 3 fucking years for anybody to give a shit. Yeah. That's a long time. When you look at it in hindsight, it didn't look like it, because we didn't pay any attention to who was listening and who wasn't then. Yeah. But then when we decided, like, hey, we've been doing this a long time, we should probably, either do it or not do it the right way. By that time, people were listening. But I mean, we did it for 3 fucking years with nobody giving a shit.
Yeah.
Like, we'd be psyched if anybody said anything about an episode. And we were saying shit. If you go back and listen to those old Rushmore episodes when we knew nobody was fucking listening, I'm scared to listen to them. We were saying shit. If me and Pepper ever had a falling out, I could incriminate him on so many things, because I have access to all of those MP3s.
You could definitely get him audited.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Audibly. I can get him audibly audited.
Yeah, man. I feel like, I don't know, we've gotten a good amount of listeners in the past, but the amount of people that listen to our show versus the amount of people that want to be like, hey, here's $10 for your Patreon. Yeah. Send me a sticker. There's only like a couple of those people in existence.
Yeah. So we had a Patreon for like 2 weeks and we didn't put anything on it. So it's just still there. And I think like 3 people still pay for it. Stop doing that, people. But we don't put anything on that. We don't put anything on that motherfucker. We haven't put anything on the Patreon since like November. And I think we started it in November.
Yeah. On our Patreon soon, we're going to put up a video of Jason Robbins being really bad at comedy.
Oh, you're going to, yeah.
I lost a bet, so I have to intentionally bomb a set.
Okay.
Yeah, which is much different from unintentionally bombing a set like you usually do.
Yeah. Right, like I did. Which, to be fair, I didn't have material. I just fucking went up there and talked.
Yeah, I mean, when you're doing comedy, having materials kind of like.
That's what I'm saying. You should probably write something. But I did tell Pepper, I was like, he's like, so you've been writing? And I was like, I think I'm gonna try like not writing and see how that goes. And he's like, that's a terrible idea. I was like, yeah, but we'll figure it out.
I think I'm gonna try podcasting on stage.
Yeah, pretty much. I was like, can I pull somebody up with me? Can we just kind of talk shit to somebody for 5 minutes?
Can we do a Q&A?
Yeah,
like an hour.
But it was like a 3-minute set. So I was like, how fucking hard can this be? Turns out you should probably prepare.
Yeah, pretty hard. Yeah, a lot harder than people think.
I will say I talked the whole time. I never froze.
Doing a 5-minute set sounds easy, but when you're on stage, 5 minutes feels like when you've never done it before, dude. 5 minutes feels like an hour.
Yeah.
And now, now I have so much material now. Like 5 minutes, I can't even fit one joke in 5 minutes. I need more.
Yeah, I didn't really know what I was saying while I was up there, because I didn't have anything to say when I went up there. But in my head, all I was thinking was, if I don't stop talking, then stuff will just keep coming out. In my head, I was like, don't stop talking, just fucking talk. So I didn't stop. If you listen to that clip, it's 3 minutes with 0 breaths. It's like there was no fucking break in the whole talking, because Bryan listened to it and he was like, slow the fuck down. I was like, well, I'm not doing it again. I was like, I don't need tips. I'm just showing you how it went.
Yeah, comedy is a very hard gig if you're planning on trying to be successful at it. I don't recommend it. And not a good way to make money.
I respect it very much. And some of my best friends now over the last couple of years are comedians, obviously, and very good comedians, but it is not for me. And I'm not going to act like it is because I have a fucking funny podcast. I'm not going to go around saying that I can do stand-up because I cannot.
Yeah, I'm the opposite. If I have a really not funny podcast, great stand-up, dude.
Yeah. I hear you're funny. I haven't seen your stand-up. Pepper said you were funny.
I'll get out to Austin one of these days.
Do it.
Oh, yeah, dude. What were you going to say, Jason?
I don't even remember. I'm an old man. You can't interrupt me. I'll lose it.
Well, here's what we're going to do. we're gonna talk about something that you're not gonna like because
Me?
Thomas over here, through his other podcast, ROUGHHOUSE Friday, where he does professional handicapping, has become somewhat of a hot prospect these days. I hear you might be on a UFC broadcast, Thomas.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. John Anik did ask me to break down. Well, he asked me to break down the card for October 9th, UFC card.
Yeah,
I'm definitely going on Anik and Florian on his podcast with Kenny Florian
excellent.
to break it down there. And then depending on how that goes is going to see what happens after that, is what John said. Basically, like if this works out, we're going to see what we can do for more. But I mean, their podcast alone gets like 130,000 fucking downloads.
Yeah. Anik and Florian is a really great podcast.
Yeah,
I listen to it religiously.
So there was the Duck, Ian Parker.
Yeah.
That breaks down the fights. I'm going to be replacing him temporarily. He's got a job with the PFL, so he's not there. He's super fucking busy, which Kenny works for them too. But basically, I'm going to be filling in for him. So they had somebody else do it this week. I don't know what that guy's name was. And then I'm coming in on October 4th. And then I had to Google. I'm like, so what fights am I breaking down? Who's fighting on October 9th? UFC has announced 2 fights for the entire card. That's just like 2 weeks away. And the main event is fucking Mackenzie Dern and Marina Rodriguez. Who gives a fuck? So I've got to really dive fucking deep because I'm like, who gives a shit about these fights? But I mean, people want to bet on them, and I will bet on them regardless. It doesn't matter. You could have a fucking stick fighting a broom. I'm going to bet on it, but
yeah,
I'll figure it out.
Yeah. So do you know when you're going to appear on Anik and Florian?
October 4th.
Awesome. October 4th, Anik and Florian podcast for Thomas McCormack. That's going to be awesome. Yeah, I can imagine that it's pretty daunting to try to prepare for that when there's only 2 fights announced for that card.
Yeah, I've tried to look everywhere for like rumors for that card and everything. Can't find anything. And also, Mackenzie Dern wins every fight in the first round by submission. So what do you need me to break down?
Yeah, and I mean, and still, that's a risky fight to bet on too because Mackenzie Dern's a monster, but Marina Rodriguez is a fucking Muay Thai machine, dude.
Yeah. Sure.
She has elbows made out of razor blades.
If you're close enough to elbow somebody, they're close enough to take you down. And Muay Thai doesn't work on your back.
So you take Mackenzie Dern in that fight?
Yes, 100%. Spoiler alert. Still listen to Anik and Florian podcast, but there's my fucking pick.
Yeah. How much the line on that can't be too great either then, though.
They haven't even put one out yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine that Mackenzie Dern's going to open as a huge favorite.
Yeah, she's going to be favorite. I think you would have to do some kind of prop bet, like how she wins, like wins by submission or some shit like that to win any money.
Probably sub 2.5 rounds would be a good prop bet.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there if you want to put it on the Anik and Florian podcast.
We'll see what happens.
Are you still doing commentary for Empire FC?
No. That's the end of that.
Okay.
No.
What happened there? I thought you were doing commentary for them. Did you stop when you moved?
No. I've done 2 since I moved here. I was flying back there to do them. But I will not be doing any more. So the owner, the president, Christian, good guy. Support them, but I'm not going to be working for him.
Okay. Yeah. All right. That's all you have to say.
All right. But hey, I'm fucking available if any other fight organizations are listening to open micers and want to hire me for their commentary team.
Hey man, if fight organizations were listening to this show, I would have definitely been on an MMA broadcast by now. I've been trying. I've been DMing people, not going well.
Ask them. They have an opening. Empire. I quit.
Yeah. I messaged Christian about it. And I told him that if he needed commentators that I have MMA journalism experience and podcasting experience.
When was that?
Let's see. I did about sometime last week. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I quit in the end of August. So when the hurricane was going down. So they do have an opening. I know that. So I don't know. But he's also very hard to get in touch with or get a response from, I should say. Yeah.
I was about to say, I literally messaged him on Facebook.
Yeah. That's pretty much the only way you're going to reach him, but he'll still respond like 6 weeks later. But he's a good guy.
Yeah.
He's a good dude.
Are you guys still talking about UFC?
Kinda.
Yeah, we're done now. You can
you
can come back in.
I was just over here like deleting stuff out of my history.
Yeah, this episode.
I want that deleted episode.
I do not have it. I have expunged it from the records.
That's fucking nonsense, bro.
It's not even in your Twitch history anymore?
I'm hacking
No,
your shit.
I deleted it that morning.
Okay. Can you give me like a vague idea of what caused the deletion?
Okay, so basically we had 4 dudes.
I will say this because you seem hesitant to really get into it. I know Pepper very well, and I know is it something he said or did?
No.
Oh well, shit. I'm about to
It
say
has nothing to do with Pepper.
If you give me a very loose premise, I could easily figure out what he did or said.
No,
I don't want anybody upset. I don't want to point fingers or anything like that. There's some affected parties that should probably sit down and talk to one another about their differences.
Okay.
Well, let's just say there was 4 dudes on a podcast, and there was too much cross talk to release anything that can be considered content.
Okay.
Why do you have to say that out loud, man?
Oh, was that out loud? Did I say that into the microphone?
Am I gonna have to go?
I just thought you were
bleep.
describing somebody, and I thought I knew him, so I said it out loud. I didn't know that's who it was.
Well, look, we'll move on from that.
Yes, please.
Well, we will not confirm or deny.
Okay. He's talked over me on many podcasts. Keep going. What do
We
got?
cannot confirm nor deny your claim of who it was.
We're also going to need a method, and we're going to need a room. So
I will say that I am 2-0 against that guy on Anthony Patala's show 1v1 me, bro.
Oh yeah, the one that doesn't get released.
Yeah, I told Pepper that the other day. I'm like, what happened to that show I did 3 fucking episodes on?
Yeah, he deleted the one that me and Jason did together.
Oh, really? Yeah, we had him on Rushmore too, and did one on there, me versus Pepper. I won that too. I beat Pepper and I beat Mark twice.
Yeah, I beat Jason, and Anthony's just like, yeah, you can keep your record, but I accidentally deleted the episode.
Yeah, he said he accidentally deleted them or something like that.
Yeah, he did that with both of my episodes with Mark. Neither one of those got released. I beat him twice, and one he didn't. He was going through the laptop computer, so he couldn't hear a word me or Mark were saying, like going through the audio on the laptop instead of his microphones. And then the other one, he said he just deleted a bunch of them on accident.
Yeah.
I even asked on that second one, do you want me to record so that doesn't happen again? Do you want me to record on my end? Absolutely not. And then he deleted it. I love you.
Yeah.
Andy.
Yeah. Anthony likes burning podcasts.
Yeah. And I love winning. So I like doing the show because Mark was such an easy fucking opponent. So I enjoyed that. I'd do 50 of those versus Mark Simmons. I'd do 100 of them and come out undefeated and unscathed.
Yeah, Jason was the same way. I really took it to his ass, dude.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I fucking
Sexy.
raw dogged that man right there.
Hope he released video of that.
No. Anthony was just like, this doesn't need to see the light of day. Dying kids, who cares? I'm going to delete this.
Y'all did. Oh, it was for Dying Kids charity. That's a good joke.
Yeah.
I thought you meant y'all did a Dying Kids topic. I'm like, how did I not get invited to that episode?
No, the whole thing's for like Extra Life.
Yeah, that was supposed to be for Extra Life. I don't.
Wow.
Anthony
hates children.
Anthony's
He hates children. He hates kids. When he says he donates to Children's Hospital, he means to keep the children in them.
Yeah, we did like 2 or 3 episodes. 2 or 3 episodes, and he just loses them all. What the hell, Anthony?
Incredible. I wanted to stand that I'm 3-0 on that show.
Yeah, we should hit up Anthony and be like, hey man.
You know what I'm gonna do? Have him on this
You're
show,
bald
and then I'm
dumb.
gonna delete the episode. Be like, oops.
Yeah. That was that dude's been on Rushmore like 6 times. It's pretty unprecedented because we don't have anybody on multiple times.
Yeah.
And that motherfucker somehow has made his way onto the show so many goddamn times. It used to be because we never had guests for the first 2 years. There was no guests on Rushmore.
Yeah.
And then we did his show and decided to do a swap cast. And then it just turned out fucking easier to record at his place. So we just started like putting episodes out with him on there. not really even thinking about having guests on there. But it was so much easier to do that because there was a while where me and Pepper just recorded Rushmore in his closet, in Pepper's closet.
To be fair, Pepper has a pretty nice closet that
he does not. No. We didn't fit in it together. I mean, our knees literally touched while we recorded for years.
I mean, yeah, that is pretty gay, but
yeah, and which makes the show better, but it's still uncomfortable as fuck. And we did a shit. We couldn't have fit another guest in there if we wanted to.
Yeah, you guys still, when you have guests on, it's usually notable people. You rarely have on people like Phil Crone or Anthony Vitello. Yeah,
we're extremely picky about that, only because we don't really like having guests on still. We do think it's not as good when we have guests on, unless somebody that I'm just like, we don't have to say much and we can let them fucking talk. But we were dead against, for really no reason, having guests at all for like 2 years, and just no guests, period. And then we just took advantage of the COVID shit and knew everybody was fucking bored and started reaching out to people.
Yeah, I feel like we're like the opposite of Rushmore Podcast.
Yeah, you just have whoever on. Me.
Yeah, we just talk to literally anyone, dude.
Yeah, we don't do that at all. We're very, and I think it's more, I don't think it says anything about the other people, because we get asked for people to come on all the time, especially from around there. We get it constantly. And it's not like a knock on any of them. I think it's just like, I don't know. I don't think we're interesting enough.
Yeah.
Like, we can talk shit to each other because we have that relationship. When you add somebody else, that most of the people that listen to our show are not from the Gulf Coast. So they're all just like, who the fuck is that person, that third person? And so they don't know you at all. And then why do they give a shit about what we're saying? I don't know if I'm explaining that well, but I think like we're not interesting enough to carry a guest that people don't know coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That.
I mean, we literally do like the opposite. I mean, we literally like try to highlight a guest and make it like all about them. Like this is their episode. That's
not only nicer, that's probably the better thing to do.
Yeah.
Like that's the right thing to do. Y'all are doing the right thing. I'm not saying like, look at us, we don't have fucking guests. I'm like, dude, we fucking suck. We don't have guests. Like, that would be very cool of us to just do that all the time.
You also have like 15,000 more listeners than we do.
I mean, all right, fucking lowball, baby. No, I'm just kidding. I will say our YouTube sucks. We didn't know we had a YouTube for like 2 years, and we would post. No, we just didn't know. We didn't make it. We would post episodes to Libsyn, where we distribute the podcast, and it was automatically posting our episodes to YouTube. It was like a link to the YouTube, so it was posting episodes there, and we didn't even know it was doing that forever. And then we had one podcast, I won't say their name, but they blew every other fucking podcast out of the water by so many downloads it wasn't even goddamn close. And then I was like, oh, I wonder how the YouTube did. And it was like 16 views. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
We had the opposite of that.
Audio,
we had the opposite of that. One of our guests, who was a Maxim model, dude, like, this was one of our very first, like, within the first 15 or 20 episodes, Jacob?
No, it's closer to 30, 40.
Yeah, 30, 40. Maybe, 100 downloads on the audio, but there was 1,000 views on YouTube.
Yeah. Like, our ratio
it was crazy.
Wildly opposite.
Because we tagged her with Maxim Model on YouTube, and everyone was like, I'm going to J my D to open Micro's podcast.
Yeah. So I thought like tagging the YouTube videos would be a good idea. It made no difference for us. Our YouTube still fucking sucks.
Dude, just tag everything with Maxim Model, no matter what it is.
I might do that. I did think about So I like that whenever we have Ari on, I can just tag it with a bunch of Jewish stuff, and that seems to work really well. But Bryan Callen worked really well tagging him because he was going through all those fucking court cases. So people wanted to know what he was up to. And then we had one dude that made a YouTube video it was literally Bryan Callen has reached his rock bottom. And it was just like a screen recording of him doing our show.
I saw that.
Yeah. With some dude with the worst voice of all time. And then his video got like 30,000 more fucking views than the podcast did.
Yeah.
But I liked it because the comments were all like, fuck this guy that made the video. It was all negative, but it was so many views. They all started coming over to our comment section. So that video did really well for us. But audio wise, still, like that video of Brian on our show has like 9,000 views or something like that on YouTube. And it's the ratio of audio downloads to that one is not even close.
It's
Yeah,
crazy.
you guys only had like one audio listener.
No, the opposite. We had way more than 9,000 on that episode.
Oh, it's over 9,000. I see how it is.
I
You
see what
fucking
you're doing. Dragon
weeb.
Ball Z, you fucking set me up.
I actually, you can even see if you're watching on YouTube. I'm pointing to my Dragon Ball Z poster right now. That's looming in the background.
Yeah. Is that Super Saiyan 2?
Yeah, something like that. It's Super Saiyan Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks.
Okay, well, 2 of those are gay.
Yeah. I like Trunks though, dude. I think Trunks is pretty cool.
All right,
Yeah,
fellas,
sure.
we got to start wrapping this thing up because I have another show to do here in just a bit. But
Okay. Before we leave, we need to talk about McCormack Media.
yes,
Please. What do you do for people, and where can people hire your services?
You can email McCormack Media Management. It's McCormack, McCormack, Media Management at gmail.com. I do pretty much anything that has to do with media. I know that sounds fucking stupid, but me and Pepper were just talking about this. He's like, what do you actually do for a living? And it's so many different things. I don't really know what to say because I kind of just take on whatever. I just kind of figure out what people need, and then I try to do that, and then eventually get good at it. Because if you just fucking try to do something, you'll eventually get. Because it's not fucking rocket science. So I produce a bunch of podcasts right now. I manage and book a shit ton of recording artists. Let's see, what else do I fucking do? I manage 2 MMA fighters. I'm obviously doing the podcast and shit. The main thing I'm trying to get into more is producing podcasts. So I have like packages and shit like that I can send people if you email me how to basically make it to where your job is to show up, record the fucking show, give it to me. I will mix it. I will post it. I'll distribute it everywhere. I'll promote it. I can do the social media shit. I can get you sponsors. I can get you guests. I can do all that shit. So I have packages for that. But also I manage fucking MMA fighters and musicians, which is a weird goddamn mix. I don't think a lot of people do both of those things at the same time. And I fucking commentate fights. And I feel like that's somehow media. That's in there somewhere. I don't do that anymore because I quit fucking Empire. Hopefully Jacob gets the job.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'd put in a word for you, but it wouldn't work. Anyways, I'm going to do that again somewhere. I don't know. Maybe the fucking UFC, John Anik, if you're listening right now. Put in a goddamn word for me.
Yeah, J.A.
Yeah, J-A.
More like J.A. hole.
Yeah, more like fucking yeah. I don't have anything.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Jack Gas.
Yeah.
It's not a good one, but it's the same letters. All right, but yeah, I do all that shit. But McCormack Media Management, the main thing I really want to focus on is producing other people's fucking podcasts and monetizing other people's fucking podcasts because I get questions, and so does Pepper. And by the way, stop asking Pepper. He's never posted a podcast in his life. He's never talked to a sponsor. He doesn't know how to do any of that shit. But I get asked so many fucking, how did you get this guest? How did you get this sponsor? All that shit. By the way, your fucking listeners doesn't matter. If you have 10,000 listeners, right? Mm-hmm. And 5 of them fucking interact with you, those 5 people can make you fucking money. If you have 10 listeners and 4 of them interact with you, those people can make you fucking money. Because if you get sponsors and those people buy shit with your sponsors to support the show, you're going to make money. It does not fucking matter if you have 5 downloads an episode. You can make money on your show if the people listening give a shit about supporting you. It is that fucking simple. There, you could have 1 million downloads, and if none of them give a shit, they're not going to buy anything. You can have all the sponsors in the world. They're not going to fucking pay. I mean, dude, nobody's bought a goddamn Beretta gun with our promo code. And I know people are listening. Still doesn't work. Pure Spectrum CBD, though, people buy that shit all the time. That's our main sponsor. So fucking shout out. Rushmore 10% off.
So you see that, people out there listening to this show right now, if you give a shit, help us make money. we're almost
really,
at 100 episodes and we haven't made a dime in profit.
Yeah, fuck that. You should be, it should at least be paying for your fucking like Zoom subscription.
It is
Okay.
At least doing
That's
that.
it. It should pay for itself to where you're not coming out of pocket to do the show at minimum.
Yeah.
Luckily,
more than that,
we waking up.
It's fucking fun to do. So, I mean, if it makes you rich, that's fucking great. But if it doesn't, at least it pays for itself and it's a free hobby.
Yeah. Well, the only reason it pays for itself now is because we moved to Anchor.fm. So that was, half of what we owed every month to keep the show going.
Right.
Yeah. And also BJ DeBlow sponsors us for us to insult him at the beginning of every episode.
I'm sorry. Is that his real name, by the way?
No, absolutely
Okay.
not. I
Alright.
don't know his real name.
I was about to say, because that's blowjob and blow in the same fucking.
Yeah, no,
So that's
it's
purposeful.
definitely that's a stage name for sure.
Gotcha. Well, that's fucking gay. All right.
All right, man. Yeah, we're gonna get out of here. Thanks for coming on, dude. You're fucking killing it, doing shit for the UFC. Anakin Florian, Roughhouse Friday, Rushmore Podcast
Rushmouth.
available.
Rushmouth?
It looks like
That's-
you rushed your fucking mouth to say that.
We should do.
Dude.
We should start
That's-
another podcast and call it Rushmouth.
Yeah,
Rush-
well,
That's
we
gonna
have
be mine and Thomas's podcast.
We have an
Rushmouth
enemy podcast called Fart Mouth, so fuck those guys. Fuck Fart Mouth. Fuck Empire. Fuck AP's non-existent show. Fuck, stuff you want to fuck.
Yeah, dude. Fuck Thunder's shitting dogs. How
Yeah.
about that?
Fuck Pepper.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, by the way,
anyways,
if I had to rank my podcast co-host, it would be it would just be Bryan. Yeah, it would just be Bryan.
Pepper doesn't even make it into the
I
conversation.
don't think he'd be on the list.
Rushmore of podcasts you've ever been a guest on, Thomas. Go.
Rushmore podcast I've been a guest on.
Yes.
Fucking Open Micers is number 4.
Hell yeah, dude. Awesome. I'm glad we made it in the conversation.
Okay. I don't really guest on a lot of podcasts, by the way. Yeah, I don't do this very often. Pepper's the big guest guy. He guests on all the fucking shows. I don't guest on a lot of podcasts. Red Egg Podcast, don't think they exist. That's a fun one to do. Fart Mouth, just because they're my enemy, it was fun to go in there and fucking shoot it up a little bit. Like literally assault them. And then number 1, I'll circle back to Open Micers. You're on it fucking twice.
Oh yeah, dude. Awesome. That's going to be it for Thomas McCormack. Listen to Rushmore Podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Roughhouse Friday as well. And buy a Beretta with the code Rushmore to get 10% off. And anything to say, Jason?
No, I'm good. Thanks for coming on the show, Thomas. It's nice to have you.
welcome.
Because
You're
we've
very
had
handsome.
Pepper on way too many times, and it's your turn finally.
Yay.
So yeah, that's all we got.
Yeah, let's get out of here, boys.
All
You're the
right.
one with the soundboard, buddy.
I was waiting
Oh,
to
yeah.
see if you had anything else, but if you would like to email us, you can email us at Jesus Christ, at openmicerspodcast@gmail.com, at openmicers on Twitter and Instagram, and openmicers podcast on Facebook. And that's going to do it for this week, and we will see you guys next Wednesday.
He just left. He just left.
That's great. Well, thank you everybody for watching on Twitch, and we'll see you guys next week.
You need